Alright, alright, alright. I think it's about time we get started. Let me make sure I click the right button. Chat appears. Alright, can everybody hear me? Is all the audio and everything good? Well, speaking at C, it's me, Z. Hello everybody! Here, let me move the chat a little bit to the side. Oh, I hope you guys are doing great. Let me do a quick roll call and greet everyone real quick. Hello, Germanium GE. Hello, Pacham Senpai. Hello, Pembu. Hello, Warpy. Hello, Astral. Hello, Brenda. Hello, Stella. Hello, Rexus. Hello, Matt. Hello! Thank you guys so much for joining. So this stream is a little bittersweet for me because it is unfortunately the last stream that I will have before I take about a month to be on a live streaming break. Now, this was a bit of a surprise announcement for me too, and I'm really sorry if this was a really last minute thing. I will talk a little bit more about this at the end of my stream and sort of what you guys should expect when I come back and some cool announcements that I want to hint on. Yeah, no, I'm not leaving you, I promise! I'm not leaving you! Loud cries, no need to cry. I'll talk more about this later, but I'll still be online on the Discord. I will still be, you know, like, active on X, and probably will post a YouTube short here and there. I just wanted to take this time to recharge, and I was already planning to take a bit of a break for travels, which would have been about like 2 or 3 weeks. So it's just meaning that I'm leaving a week earlier. So it's actually not that bad, I promise you. I promise you, Orbeez. Well, I hope everybody's doing great. I think we can maybe just chat for a little bit as people start to come in. Oh, I definitely don't want anyone to be missing this stream because it's definitely meaningful to me. Yeah, we hope you're gonna have fun, enjoy some nerdery and travels. Well, I will be traveling, and I already have been traveling too, wink wink, and I have some videos in the works for these travels. I know you guys really liked my London and Paris vlog from a while back, so just putting it out there that that will not be the last one. Stella says, I'm doing fine, though my laptop broke itself last Thursday. Oh no, well I hope you're doing alright. I mean, I was also looking at Faye's content. So Faye Dracera, she does biomedical content, and she recently became a real-life doctor, which is crazy. I think if Faye was my doctor, I would be pleasantly surprised. But she also said that her laptop broke. I fortunately had a laptop issue already at the start of this year, or I guess a few months ago, so hopefully no more laptop issues. Hello, Trentimus. Greetings to all friends in the stars. Hello, that's such a cute way to refer to us. Yeah, so what's on the agenda for today, you may ask. So, I was hoping to read some Astrobites articles, nerd out a bit of astrophysics, just want to make it a little nice and cozy stream, and then maybe end up with a little bit of chatting, because now that I've been thinking about it, we've been doing a lot of stuff on our streams. We collabed with Kim last time, we did Kerbal Space Program, and I feel like I just haven't had much time to just sit down and chat with you guys about what you guys are up to. And honestly, I want to chat with you guys about some of the exciting plans that I have next. So, yeah, Z is going to Mars already. Well, I don't know about you guys. Would you guys go to Mars? Would you guys volunteer to be like one of the first people on Mars? Because frankly, I don't think I could, because it would be so sad to leave everybody I know and everything behind. Though it would be really cool to be the first VTuber on Mars. Am I right? Pacha Senpai, hello! Hello, all the Orbeez. Yeah. Whew. Well, I did a lot of walking yesterday, actually. I walked like 20,000 steps, I think, at the end. And so my legs are incredibly sore right now. So if I sound a little bit tired, it's because of that. No, I would probably be incredibly depressed on Mars. Seen Total Recall? No. Wait, let's do a poll. Let's do a poll. Would you be one of the first people on Mars? Yes. No. I also don't know why my mouth is glitching out a little bit. Let me just quickly just fix those settings real quick. Mouth. All right, okay, that looks a little, oh, wow, my mouth is like really opening. All right, maybe this is a little bit better. Yeah, there we go. Other than the soul-crushing loneliness and isolation and the fact that you have a thin layer of protection from the... You'd go? Really? Wow. Mars is a bit much. I'd rather start at the moon. Actually, I actually think that maybe in several decades from now, students could potentially study abroad to the moon, just like you could study abroad to Europe, for instance. And I think that would be a really, really cool opportunity. I mean, I'm not sure, like, how developed we'll be in, like, several decades from now, but I don't know. I think hopefully by, like, 2100 or something, that's a possibility. I think it would be really cool to go to the moon. I think it would be even cooler to go to the International Space Station. So 70% no, 30% yes. Well, I guess that is majority no then. I would also vote no, to be honest. Yeah. Whew. Hello, Telos. I'm actually wondering, how do you pronounce your name? Is it Archie? Arch? Archa? We were supposed to have a permanent moon base by Artemis 10, I think. Yeah, no, I think that would be super sick. I mean, I hope I'll still be okay, I'll definitely be around by then, for sure. Archie, the first one? Okay, Archie, that's a cute name. Yeah. Whew. Well, maybe one day we'll get to the moon. Yeah, so I guess what have I been up to recently? Oh, there was a really nice Formula 1 race this morning at Monaco, for those of you who are fans of race car driving. And that was a pretty fun watch. I still need to watch the highlights because I only saw a little bit of it before I got caught up in some of my meetings. And yeah, sorry for delaying the stream another hour. I was originally planning to go for 11, and then there was this last minute meeting, and I was like, oh, I don't want to, you know, pull up like 30 minutes late, so I just decided to push it back, which was a lot better. Get in the school rocket. Wait, Miss Frizzle would totally take people to the International Space Station. The magic school bus. that was so good. Yeah. Well, I also want to get started on reading some of the articles. I actually have a selection of 3 articles for you guys. But before I get started on that, because I'll have to unpin my current message, if you go to my link tree, you can see all of my links. I actually recently updated it. If you aren't on the Discord, go join the Galaxy Discord. It's one of the ways that I'm hoping to stay connected while I'm on the break. So without much further ado, I think we can just... Let me see if I can just switch to this guy. Let me see. Boop. Boop. Yeah, there we go. All right. Do you guys see everything all right? Maybe I should make this a little bit bigger. Yes, or you can do ! Discord. Thank you so much, Pembu. Pembu's been an amazing mod. Project Artemis 10 is projected for 2035, so I would be concerned if you didn't have 10 more. Oh yeah, no, I'm fine. Wait, but I think 2035 can be a bit of an underestimate. I think it would still take some time. Because I think before we are able to go to the moon, we need to be able to regularly send rockets up there. And, well, I think we've gotten very comfortable to sending satellites in geosynchronous orbits and that kind of stuff. But it's a lot harder if we want to, you know, go a bit further. But who knows? I think things can change really quickly in 10 years. We can see. Yeah, no, we can see. Alright, so before we get started... Oh, I just showed my thing. Actually, it's just my channel page. I was worried I switched to something else, but we're all good. We're all good. No doxing incident. No doxing incident before Zabbatical, please. Please, I'm begging you. Alright, so let me just pin this one real quick. So I originally selected this one because it had a really funny name. Here, let me pin this real quick. Yeah, it's the last one, so every delay to any of the previous ones would push it back. Yeah. I'm just hoping that it's possible for us to just keep going. To the satellites, the moon, the beyond. So, alright, so this is the first article that I wanted to look at because I thought it has a pretty cool name. It's called Written in the Gas Jet Feedback in a Voorwerp Galaxy. Okay, imagine just like waking up and you're, Voorwerp is not actually named after something, but imagine just saying, oh yeah, I study Voorwerp galaxies. Isn't that so cool? Like, it just sounds so funny. Here, let me make sure the chat is the right size. Okay, yes, it's this one. Alright, cool. Oh, and for those of you who are new to this kind of content, so Astrobites is a website that takes research papers and sort of translates them to be lay-friendly, so you don't need a PhD or a professorship to understand these astrophysics articles. And I think it's one of the best ways, and one of the ways that I started to get into reading astrophysics articles regularly, because they take stuff from all corners of astrophysics and turn it into really accessible content like this. They also they have these research explainers, but they also have news and conference updates, so really cool way to just learn more about astrophysics. It sounds like a Dutch name. Yeah, no, it is a Dutch word. Voorwerp actually stands for object in Dutch. Yeah, but I think it sounds really funny, so that's why I chose it. Alright, well, I think we should get reading. And we should lock in, because I know Astral likes to collect data of how fast, or not really how fast, but how efficiently we read through papers without being interrupted. So yeah, I actually haven't read these in too much detail, so yeah, we'll read through these together and learn together. So yeah, so the title is Written in the Gas Jet Feedback in a Voorwerp Galaxy. So, Voorwerp galaxies as laboratories for active galactic nuclei. So, I had to confirm this earlier today because I was talking with somebody about active galactic nuclei and supermassive black holes, and I was like, you know, maybe I'm just like getting this wrong, but what is the exact difference? Because I always thought that the active galactic nuclei also includes sort of the stuff that's around the black hole, and the black hole is like the black hole itself at the center. And so, yeah, turns out that was right. So supermassive black holes refer to the actual dense object that sucks in everything and not even light can escape. And active galactic nuclei sort of refer to the bigger system that includes the black hole. And that includes a highly radiative energetic cloud accretion disk around the black hole. So just an object galaxy, what's the object in this context? Well, we will get to that in just a moment, so let's start reading. Supermassive black holes, or SMBHs, are believed to reside at the centers of nearly all massive galaxies. As they accrete matter, they can release enormous amounts of energy in the form of radiation winds and relativistic jets, powering active galactic nuclei and influencing their host galaxies. This process, known as AGN, or active galactic nuclei feedback, can regulate star formation and the properties of gas in the interstellar medium, making it a key mechanism in how galaxies form and evolve over time. So, when I read this paragraph, I also thought that this would not be like 100% lay-friendly. But basically what it means is that the black hole at the center of the galaxy can change how much stars are formed, and that in turn changes how quickly a galaxy forms. For instance, if you think about a really, really energetic black hole, maybe it has a lot of heat and radiation, and it leads to more star formation. Or it could push gas and dust out of the galaxy, leaving it with less material to form new stars. So that's what AGN feedback is. It's basically saying that the black hole is sort of controlling the galaxy and shaping how quickly it forms stars. Alright, so of the many diverse manifestations of AGN, radio-loud galaxies stand out as powerful laboratories for studying feedback in action. Not only do these galaxies have O3 emission lines, So oxygen-3 emission lines that are characteristic of AGN, but they also host intense radio-emitting lobes of gas that extend beyond the structure of the galaxy, indicative of jets. Today's paper refers to these lobes as EELR, or the Extended Emission Line Region. So these are the Voorwerp galaxies, and what they're sort of getting at here, if I'm recalling this correctly, is that these galaxies... So I know Stella asked what is Voorwerp galaxy, why is an object galaxy, like what does that refer to? I think it's just a cool way to, maybe somebody else knows why exactly they're called object galaxies, but they're just a specific type of galaxy that has very big glowing clouds, so these sort of things around it. And this is useful because one of the things that we want to see is when do these black holes sort of turn on and off, and we can only do that if the yes. Oh, wait. Okay. I'll read the chat right after I say this, but when a black hole turns off, the glowing clouds around it can still hold information. It's this concept known as light echoes, and they will actually sort of delve into that in a second. But the idea is that the black hole turns off and the cloud is still glowing, and scientists can say, oh, wait, that means that at some point the black hole must have sort of been on and emitting radiation and heating up that cloud around it. So that's why these galaxies are useful. And then Gui, or I'll just call you Gui, I guess. For clarification, for those who don't speak emission, O3 means triply ionized oxygen, not O3 is ozone. Yes, that is an important clarification. Light echoes are like sound echoes, but with light. Yeah, and I think in this case, they're also sort of like heat echoes. Maybe this is a stupid question, but what does it mean for a black hole to be off? Well, I think there is still like a little bit of discussion about this because it's really hard to say when something is off, right? When you say a galaxy dies, you say it quenches. There's never a point where it's like fully dead or it's stopped forming stars. If I recall correctly, if somebody else knows better, they can clarify this. A black hole turns off when it's sort of accreting less material. Sometimes the galaxy might have less material in the galaxy, and it's sort of like digesting less material. And then when a black hole is like emitting less radiation, that is also another instance when it would be off. And so that can sort of help us understand, like, because the black hole is emitting radiation, which then shapes the galaxy around it, if a black hole is emitting less radiation, it's pushing less gas and dust out of the galaxy, which means that the galaxy itself must be forming less stars because there's less material to do that. Looking through Wikipedia, the first one discovered as part of a citizen science project by a Dutch schoolteacher. Yes, I was actually just about to go into that. So one of the coolest things about these galaxies is that they were found through this thing called Galaxy Zoo, if I recall correctly. It's here, let me see if I can try to pull it up real quick. And I highly, highly recommend that you guys go check out this website. It's called Zooniverse. And one of the things that it does is that you can basically, wow, yeah, no, this is great. You can basically contribute your time to identifying galaxies. I wonder if there's a good demo of this. My favorite one is the Galaxy Zoo, which is, I believe, how they found this galaxy type. Here, let me just try to pull it up real quick. Yeah, well, so they've restarted it a few times, but they have a lot of galaxies to go through, and they keep adding more surveys. So what you have are these, like, galaxies, and you have to classify them given the certain description. And so this is one of the coolest examples of citizen science in action. Yep, citizen science. Oh, hello, Cerno. Thank you so much for joining. And hello, Phi. Thank you so much for joining. Hello, it's so good to see you. I hope your streaming week has been going great. And if you haven't already, go follow Phi and also the other V-Theorem members. For those of you who are new, I'm part of this scientific communication group called V-Theorem, which focuses on spreading science, spreading knowledge as VTubers, and making it as accessible as possible. So Phi does sell biology content, and if I recall correctly, he's been having a great week this past week, becoming a full-time streamer or YouTuber and doing a lot of really cool content. I was looking at the biology meme review he was doing, which looked like a lot of fun. Let me actually see if I can pull up the channel real quick. Oh my god. So tired streaming every day. Oh, well, I feel like you've been really going at it. So yeah, this is Phi's channel. Yeah, I was watching this one earlier. Biology meme review, neuroimmunology, and talking about teaching and really cool content. Definitely go check his stuff out. Yeah. Thank you for the shout. Yeah, no, it's great. Yeah, so back to the idea of citizen science. Yeah, no, I think Astral is right. It was found by a school teacher. They are a special category of radio galaxies that are candidate sites of AGN, or like black hole activity, in terms of their emission line signatures. Moreover, they exhibit these clouds of ionized gas that may have originated from jets, and so these are some examples of that. So exploring these galaxies can shed light on how jets interact with the interstellar medium. So today's paper focuses on the physical and kinematic properties of one particular Voorwerp galaxy, NGC 5972, and this galaxy is interesting for its bizarre helical structure of ionized gas, as well as hints of a rich history of AGN activity. Could jet feedback have played a significant role in the evolution of this galaxy? So, to take a step back, there's a lot of fancy words in here, but to sort of, translate this, the question that they're asking here is that they're looking at this one galaxy, NGC 5972. They're saying it's a Voorwerp galaxy, it has a ton of gas around it, and because of this idea of light echoes, that could actually hint as to how active was the black hole in the past, and how could have the activity of this black hole, particularly the jets that emerge from the black hole, these incredibly powerful beams of radiation, affected how the galaxy grew over time. So that's sort of what it's referring to as like the physical and kinematic properties. It means it's just looking at the galaxy growth and the galaxy's motion based off of black hole properties. So, yeah. Alright, so let's move on to the next part. Evidence for relativistic jets in NGC 5972. To study the interstellar medium of the Voorwerp galaxy, I love saying that, the authors combined observations from multiple instruments that probe different phases of the galaxy's gas. Specifically, they used data from the Very Large Telescope, the Giant Meter Wave Radio Telescope, and the Very Large Array to create maps of ionized gas emission, allowing them to trace the structures and movements of the gas and jet material. This is crazy, by the way. They basically use like some of the most powerful observatories that we have and used multiple wavelengths to basically analyze the jet of one galaxy in different ways. So yeah, together these datasets offer a comprehensive multi-wavelength view of how the radio jet shaped the surrounding interstellar medium. These maps, shown here, display an impressive spiraling structure that could be the result of prolonged AGN activity. So they're saying that the reason why there's like a sort of a spiral structure, which I can sort of see, I guess, like here where the inner jets are connected to the outer lobes, suggests that this may have been formed through black hole activity. 11.77 words per minute? I wonder how that pairs up with the rest of the theorem. So when the authors examined the extended emission line region, they found that velocity profiles are closely aligned with the direction of where we would expect to find a radio jet. So they were like, okay, cool, looks like things match up. The enhanced velocities around the jet region likely represent gas that is outflowing, so it's being emitted because of feedback from the black hole. And the expected amount of energy from a radio jet would have been capable of driving outflows from these velocities. So what they're noticing is stuff is being ejected out of the galaxy at incredibly rapid speeds, and they're saying, okay, this must have been from the black hole, and the speeds of these jets match up with what we would expect from the black hole. So that's great. That's perfect. And so that's sort of what they're showing here. These are velocity profiles, and so the color represents I think that represents, yeah, the velocity of the material. And so they notice that the velocities are bigger along the jet axis, which I guess is referring to like here. So this is very negative and this is very positive. So negative 300, positive 300. So they're saying, okay, yes, this looks like a jet. It's aligned and it's enhanced. Pretty self-explanatory. So while the structure and movement of this ionizing gas gives promising hints of jet feedback, astronomers use a tool called BPT analysis to figure out what exactly is ionizing the gas. I'm actually curious to see what this website will say. Let's take a quick... Oh, wow, this is actually quite technical. How liners can be distributed, distinguished from normal HI regions. Okay, so they're basically just getting a ratio of different emission lines to understand, to classify these different galaxies. If you want to take a closer look, it's also in the article, so yeah. So yeah, they're basically comparing the ratio of different emission lines, different chemical signatures that we see from the galaxy. We can characterize whether the galaxy's gas was primarily ionized by radiation from an AGN, stars, or other processes. So the left panel here shows the ionizing sources. So ionizing basically means that it's just like energizing the gas. While the gas along the jet is ionized by radiation, the regions that are transverse, or sort of like perpendicular to the jet, are ionized by shock waves. So I guess what they're saying here is, I wonder if I can sort of like zoom into this. So I guess what they're showing here is, I guess this is the jet itself. And they're saying here is where things are more active, and then here the ionization is driven by these shock waves, which is why they're saying it's an expanding cocoon. It's the shock waves of the black hole itself. So more over the gas in the jet region is more turbulent, yes. In the case of NGC 5972, the radio jet is mostly ionized by radiation from the AGN. However, the gas perpendicular to the jet shows a different signature, one that matches shock waves rather than strong radiation. In addition, the gas in the shock region is more turbulent. This suggests that the radio jet is not just a byproduct of the AGN, but it actively disturbs and heats the surrounding gas by way of shocks. This dual process of jet-induced shocks create a richer picture of how black holes interact with the interstellar medium. So one of the conclusions that they found through this was actually quite short. I think this is the last section right here, is that after analyzing the velocities, after analyzing the regions that are energized, the authors found and concluded that the jet of radio emission is not just a byproduct of the black hole, but it actually is very interactive with the surrounding region. Which may seem self-explanatory, but they actually found it directly here by looking at the energizing of the gas around it. And they conclude that it actively disturbs and heats the surrounding gas by shocks, like shock waves, I guess. And they're saying that this is important to understand how black holes interact with the material around it, or the interstellar medium. Hello, Eternal Sonata. The only good thing about Syzygy is no one will scold me for not studying. No, Orbeez. No class. You need to still study. When I return, there will actually be an in-class quiz. Actually, that might be a fun return stream idea. An in-class quiz where I will test you on your Z knowledge. And if you fail, then I don't know what's gonna happen. But if you succeed, I'll give you a certificate, I guess. Well, just because I'm gone doesn't mean that you should miss my VODs. Znowledge? Yeah, Znowledge. You should keep up all this knowledge. Hello, Kyla. I just got here 5 minutes ago. I already have homework. Yes, everyone is assigned homework. While I'm gone, you have to study well, Orbeez. You can't slack off just because the teacher's gone. And when I come back, I will also be streaming more than usual, so that means that there will be more opportunities for me to truly test your physics knowledge, if you really have this knowledge that it takes to be an Orbeez. Yes. Alright, so there's one last mini paragraph before we can just put a pause for a bit. Putting the story of NGC 5972 together, these findings suggest that jet-driven feedback plays a crucial role in shaping the extended emission line region of NGC 5972. So basically they're just saying that the interaction between the radio jet and the surrounding gas influences the structure of the gas and the energy of the gas. And so they also said for future directions that it would be great to get some more radio observations and sort of take a zoom in of what's going on. So this, I think, is their main conclusion about how the AGN, the black hole, sort of shocks the region. So they're saying that there is a helix-shaped, this is crazy to me, this looks kind of like DNA, a helix-shaped oxygen emission region that sort of goes up here. There's radio emission along these lines, which are like the jets. And they're saying that now they found this little region here where the dark clouds are that represent the shock region. But what's most surprising to me here is that the galaxy is this yellow ellipse. And so you might think, oh, a black hole is very small compared to the entire galaxy. Well, they're saying that this feedback is so powerful, it can extend way beyond the galaxy and help us understand how stars form, how galaxies die, etc. So they're saying it's more than just a weird-looking galaxy with a funny name. It's a time capsule that preserves the memory of the black hole at its center and reveals how its energy continues to shape the galaxy. So that was, I think, a really impressive conclusion that they got to here. All right, well, I'm going to take a brief pause. So Astral, if you're here, definitely please stop the word count. And let me quickly read through chat. Guy says, better brush up on modeling magnetic hydrodynamics in the ISM. Yeah, no, you guys, when I come back, you guys should actually have implemented a whole a simulation suite. An entire cosmological simulation that we need to start doing research on. Jokes aside, you'll see me talking about the differential equations lectures in due time. Yes, I thank you guys so much for all of the support on those videos. And if you haven't already, I've been making videos on partial differential equations. I'm still going to be working on those. I just haven't had as much time to edit videos together, but they've been very well received, and I thank you guys so much. Speaking of Mars, during pandemic year, there's this viral Elon Mars First Colonizers thingy that you apply and get a cool looking Mars ticket thing. Ooh, I'll definitely check that out, actually. Let me jot that down real quick. Is that a cosmic microwave background radiation dress? Yes, it is. It certainly is. Yeah, no. This is actually redrawn because I was using an actual image of the cosmic microwave background for the longest time. Then I realized that I don't know if that's usable. So Mylan, my gen mate in V Theorem, actually redrew the cosmic microwave background for me, and it looks really pretty, so I really like it. Very cool, yeah. How many zoom levels? Oh, you guys should be going onto the planetary scale. No, I'm just joking. I do actually need to rewatch the Fourier one soon. Yeah, no, that one's quite good. I also recommend, if you're wanting to learn about the Fourier series, 3 Blue 1 Brown has a really, really great series. Ibanez says, you look like the moldy cheese found in Lunchley. Stop! No, you can't say that to me. No! No! Wait, hot take, but a few months ago, I actually tried the whole combo. I tried Feastables, I tried Lunchley, I tried, what's the other one? Prime? What's the one that was made by, like, KSI or something like that? I think it's called Prime. Orbeez, what is it called? Well, I tried the whole dang spiel. Because I was like, you know what? I might as well try it because I've been seeing it all over, you know, my Instagram feed or whatever. And it was Prime. It's Prime, yeah. So I was like, I tried everything. So here's my take. I tried Prime, I had one sip of it, and it was so nasty, I, like, could not drink the rest. It just was, like, sugar water, but it just tasted like Red 40. Like, it was just, like, pure, like, artificial sweetener. I was, like, tasting it, and I was like, oh my god, I feel like I'm drinking, like, paint. It was so bad. Then, I tried Lunchley, and I tried this one with, like, nacho chips and cheese, and it was like, eh. I was, like, eating that for lunch, and I felt, like, really hungry afterwards. It wasn't really nutritious. It was really salty. I didn't really like it. I'm not a huge fan of nachos anyways. Then I tried the Feastables, and I have to be honest, Feastables is actually quite good. It sort of reminded me of European chocolate, and for those of you guys who are American in the chat, well, so am I, but, I'm not getting that Prime sponsorship. Oh wait, no, I love Prime. I love Prime. Prime was the best thing I've ever drunk. I drink Prime every day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You guys should totally get Prime, because I had a revolutionary experience drinking Prime. Yeah, no, Americans don't have real chocolate. Yeah, no. So, I'm a huge fan of American chocolate, but I do know some people who are not huge fans of American chocolate. They say that, like, Hershey's tastes like vomit because it actually shares some of the same chemicals as vomit. But when I tried Lunchly, it was actually quite smooth. It was a very good chocolate. I tried their dark chocolate one, was very pleasantly surprised. I would easily take, like, Lindt or, like Ghirardelli chocolates over the Feastables chocolate, but it was quite good. I think I'd take it over a Hershey's bar, for sure. As a Swiss, I do not care to even... Hello, Elcarius. Yeah, no, when I visited Switzerland, a while back, I kid you not, I had so much chocolate, I think I actually, like, rolled down the mountains. Like, it was a little intense. I remember buying, like, a bag of Lindt chocolates and just, like, eating, like, I think I ate, like, 15 of them. It was not good for my health, but it was very, very yummy. True American chocolate is weird, yeah. Hello, Velas. As a Belgian, yeah, no. I have actually never been to Belgium, but I want to try their chocolate for sure. I would be very excited. As a Mexican, it always amuses me to realize people don't know chocolate is ours. Yes, 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 yeah, yes. Though I've actually never tried, like, Mexican chocolate. Actually, no, I think I have once, but it was a while back. I don't really remember what it tasted like. And I think it was, like, exported. Oh, I am muted? Oh, I am muted. Wait. Testing? Do you still hear me? Oh. Okay. Oh, okay. No, all good? Okay, all good. Well, I hope it's alright. Let me actually rotate this dial a little bit. You're not muted, no worries. I never stopped hearing you. Okay, great. I never stopped hearing you. Yeah, no, I better be in your dreams. Even when you close your eyes and ears, I will be there. I will always lurk. Yeah. Yeah, so I really want to try Belgian chocolate. Actually recently, somebody gave me a piece of pistachio chocolate from India. And it was just like chocolate and there was like a green thing inside. And so I was like, I'm not a huge... Okay, I'm a decent fan of pistachio. Let me give it a try. And it was really good. It was spectacular. I really loved it. I ended up eating a second square. It was really great. There are worse sleep paralysis demons to have. Yeah, no. Wait, Orbeez, do you want to hear a funny story? Maybe this would be really exposing, but I think it's really funny now in retrospect. Several years ago, I used to have like a really bad like sleep talking issue, and when I had a roommate, that was like a bit of an issue, right? Because when I was sleep talking, I wasn't like, you know, like being like or anything. I was like speaking like at this volume, like normal voice, like projecting, like everything like that. Like speaking like this basically in my sleep. And I remember once that my roommate at the time went to me and was like, hey, like, and she was very, very, very polite about it. She was incredibly sweet, incredibly kind about it. And she was like, hey, like, you know, you've been sleep talking recently. And I was like, oh my God, I've had this issue since I was quite young. And, you know, it's been sort of like coming and going. Like, I hope it was all right. And she was like, yeah, no, it was actually really entertaining. And I was like, what do you mean entertaining? And I got scared that I don't know, like dropped my social security number or something in my sleep. And so I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, well, you were podcasting about galaxies and how galaxies form for like an hour at like 3 a.m. it was actually quite educational, even though, like, at some points it was, like, complete gibberish. Oh my god. And so I was like, I felt so bad because, I mean, like, I guess you guys hear me through this screen, but if you ever see me, like, hear me in person, like, my voice is not very loud, but it's, like, quite projecting. And so if I'm speaking at this volume, like, you can hear it through a wall. And so I felt so bad because I was like, oh my god, it must have been, like, so hard, like, an hour a night, like, oh my god. But she was, like, really, it was so funny. And later, like, a few weeks afterwards, like, I was, like, looking back on it and being like, oh my god, that was so funny. Podcasting. Yeah, no, even in my dreams I teach. Wait, Eternal's gonna clip me saying, Well, I don't know how bad my sleep talking issue is now, actually. That actually might be something that I want to check. I heard that there's apps where you can, sort of, like, you keep it on and it's sort of, your phone is, like, sort of off, and then when it hears sound, it, like, turns on and starts recording. But I've never really gotten around to doing that, and I'm really scared it would be really embarrassing. You lecture us even in your sleep. Yeah, no, I'm talking with the Orbeez in my dreams. Is it normal to do derivations in your sleep? Wait, unironically, I have dreamt in VS Code. Like, I've dreamt that I'm, like, floating in VS Code. Orbeez, like, sometimes, you know, when you're, like, really in the grind set, there's, like, no separation between work and dreams. It's only embarrassing if you share with other people. Well, it's okay, Orbeez. This will be our little secret. Chotto secret. Heriday says you can also get a husbando. Yeah, no, my husbando will track how often I sleep talk. Same, but it's tech. No, I've dreamt in Overleaf too. I've dreamt that I am in LaTeX. Like, oh my god, like the green of LaTeX. It's so funny. But yeah, no, I tend to actually not have a lot of dreams. Maybe it's because of my caffeine consumption. Especially recently. Or maybe it's because I'm going to bed so tired. But I did realize that, like, sometimes when I do have vivid dreams, they are, like, very vivid. Oh, a really interesting story is that, some of my family members actually have a history of predictive dreaming, which is really crazy. I don't think I have that at all. And yeah, I'm a little bit of a superstitious person. So I don't know. Maybe one day I'll have predictive dreaming. I've dreamed of code when I work too much on it. Yeah, no, you've dreamed of the solution. No, there are some moments where I dream about, like, you know, a sudden idea I have. I get up in the middle of the night, I get a post-it pad, and I, like, write it on the post-it pad. And then I wake up, and it's just, like, random words on the pad, or, like, just random scribbles. At least I don't sleepwalk. That's my biggest fear. The astrologer's real. No! The astrologer's in my bloodline. No, no, Orbeez, that's not true, I promise. I promise you. No. Oh my god. Well, that's a little funny, story. Well, I think without much further ado, we should try to get to a second article, and then maybe we can chat for a bit at the end. Oh yeah, I wanted to read this one. Alright. We can... This one is also quite short, I think. But yeah, I just wanted to quickly read over this one, and then maybe we can do some announcements in chat. I don't want to stream for too long, just because, yeah, I want to keep it nice and short, but I'm glad we were able to read through some astrophysics articles. I don't know about what you guys think. I think my most popular stream has been Kerbal Space Program, but I actually really like the Astrobite stream the most, because I feel like, you know, you can really pace it out, ask questions, chat in between. It's really nice and cozy. I know, a while back, I did like a short story reading stream, and I've actually been recommended a few really great short stories, actually. Oh, wait, maybe I can, like, look at one of them right now. Have you guys read, oh, why'd that download as a PDF? Maybe I'll just pull up the Wikipedia article. Yeah, have you guys read I've No Mouth and I Must Scream? It's like a horror... It's a horror, like, short story. But I was recommended it recently. And I was like, oh, it's only like 11 pages, like, it's probably not gonna be too long. And I read it, and I got immediate nightmares. Oh yeah, hate. No, it was so scary. Well, I don't want to spoil too much of it, so I'm gonna click off of that. But, I want to do another short story reading stream. I think that was actually... Let me double check. I think that must have been, like, one of my first streams ever on this channel. I think that may have been, like, my 3rd stream ever. No, it was my 4th stream ever. Reading short science fiction stories. And I want to do it again because I've gotten some really amazing recommendations and that would be really fun. I know about it, but I've never read it. Well, don't read it yet because that might be one of my first streams when I'm back. So yeah, be excited, be excited. Physics anime was cool. Yes, I'm definitely planning to do a sequel. So at the end of this stream, I'm gonna present a few slides, make a few announcements, and we can also brainstorm a few ideas. Yes! There is a point of click of taking you. Yes. There is a video game after it. I've actually watched the entire playthrough. Actually, let me see if it's on, I think it's on Windows, which is sad because I only have Mac. Wait, I'm not logged in or anything, right? Okay, wait, hold up. It's on Mac! It's on Mac! Let's freaking go! Wait, Orbeez. Reading the story plus playing the game stream? Orbeez, what do you think? Heck yeah, yeah. Yes. Wait, no, this is such a great idea. Yes. Okay, wait. No, this sounds really cool. Well, I think I would have one stream for short stories so we can just like focus on reading. And then another stream just to focus solely on the game because I think the game in its entirety, there's like 6 different endings. It's actually quite an old game. If I recall correctly, the voice of the master computer AM in the game is the actual author. Yeah, it was released like in 1996. Wait, it's so great that it's on Mac. Wait, this is great. For once, Mac could game. Yeah, no, this is great. Wait, I can't believe I missed that. Cause I feel like for old games, like I usually assume that it's only on Mac. I mean, on Windows. I'd be curious to see your ending. Yeah, no. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, no, let's do it. That will definitely be a stream on the way back. Alright, well, let's quickly read through this article, and then I'm gonna do some announcements, and then we can brainstorm a few more ideas. How does that sound? Because I want to get to at least another article, because it is technically called an Astrobite stream, so, yeah. I thought this was cool because there's some really pretty pictures down here. This is called Emission Lines Due to Ionizing Radiation from a Compact Object in the Remnant of Supernova. Oh, yes! Can you pin the article? Yes, sorry about that. Good catch. Let me unpin this one. Supernova article. Yes. Yes, so you can follow along, or they also have some links in there for clarification, so yes. Alright. The Large Magellanic Cloud's most recent supernova. Supernova 1987A exploded almost 38 years ago in the Large Magellanic Cloud, making it the youngest supernova in our galactic neighborhood. Supernova 1987A is a continuously evolving object, and its proximity to Earth makes it the optimal laboratory to study supernova dynamics in high resolution. It was detected on February 24, 1987, one day after the explosion. We know the exact time of the explosion because a neutrino burst caused by the explosion was detected by 3 neutrino facilities across the globe. And I actually jotted this down. I think this was the first... Okay. It is the youngest supernova in our galactic neighborhood. And modern supernovas are quite rare. There's another one that's predicted to happen from the Blaze star, but I feel like I've heard of people saying it's gonna happen the next month, and it's gonna take like a while. Hello Kronos, you're late. No worries, we're saving announcements till the end, but we're gonna quickly read this article on a supernova first. And it was the first supernova to be detected both in radiation and in neutrinos. I'm having mild flashbacks after hearing Large Magellanic Cloud after spending all week thinking about how difficult it is to produce a Milky Way, Andromeda, and Large Magellanic Cloud in a simulation, even in a huge volume box. Well, it depends on how much detail you want to go into, right? Like, if you're trying to consider all the complexities, I mean, it's difficult enough trying to integrate, like, cosmic rays and radiative transport into these simulations. You know, neutrinos are really weird and cool, I agree with that. Alright, so the explosion resulted from the death of a blue giant star, Sanjulik 69202, with a mass 15-20 times the mass of our sun, and likely formed a neutron star after its explosion. Previous studies have hinted at the presence of this neutron star, but there is not a decisive detection yet. Today's authors seek to answer what is at the center of this supernova, and how does it impact the surrounding ejecta. So if I recall correctly, like, because of the mass of the original star, we would expect there to be a neutron star there, but since it's quite recent, I think they've been really struggling to detect it. And so one of the things that we're trying to understand is what kind of clues can we get about the neutron star remnant at the center of the supernova. So this is a beautiful, beautiful image. So on the left here is the James Webb Space Telescope. So this is what you'd see if you were to, like, look up at the night sky, right? Well, not with your eyes, but with the telescope. And they have this center region here, and this outer region here, and a few of these rings. But what you're actually looking at is, you're looking from here, and the reason why it looks like these rings is because you're seeing this outer ring here and this outer ring here. So this is a really, really cool artist's rendition of what's actually going on here. We're just sort of looking at it from the top of the bottle and seeing these double rings. So observations. So they use the James Webb Space Telescope to study the inner region of supernova 1987A, which studies the inner ejecta and the location of the proposed neutron star remnant. So each pixel in the field of view of an IFU, so the integral field unit, has an associated spectrum, making a data cube. So that's basically obtaining the chemical information of the target. So these are very powerful tools in obtaining the spectra of resolved targets while providing spatial information. So you're basically seeing how far are each of the different parts of the supernova and what are they made of. And from spectra, you can also get, like, you know, what are they made of, how fast is it moving, how hot is it, etc. So it gives you a ton of information, and in a 3D form, which is great. So past observations with Spitzer, which was the infrared telescope before James Webb, could not resolve the complex distribution of the inner ejecta, so right here. But the JWST observations resolved these structures for the first time in infrared, which is super exciting. It really comes to show how much progress we've made with James Webb. So supernova 1987A is observed by JWST in a side view, and so they show what's going on here. The ring structures are thought to be circumstellar material lost by the star at least 20,000 years before the explosion. The blue central region is filled with supernova ejecta that is diffuse and has a large structure shaped like a keyhole. The artist's rendition highlights the hourglass-shaped distribution. As the shock propagates outwards, it excites a slice of the CSM, which then appears as rings in the observation. So to sort of translate that, they're saying that these outer rings here were actually ejected 20,000 years before the star went supernova, which is crazy because these are incredible timescales. I mean, think about civilization like 20,000 years ago. Like, there wasn't even civilization. And they're saying that this inner ring here is what was caused by the supernova in 1987. So let's get to the chase, and it says results. Something lies at the heart of the supernova. So the supernova is an expanding explosion, and the velocity of the emitting gas is imprinted on the line emission via Doppler shifting. The spectroscopy showed strong emission in 2 argon lines at a velocity. So these chemical signatures can tell us how fast parts of the galaxy are moving. And this is faster than the rest frame of the supernova. This is a different velocity from the very clumpy inner ring, which has a velocity of negative 12 kilometers per second. So they're saying that the different regions have different velocities. And when they took velocity slices, which is what's shown here, the central source is best shown in these panels, so this row here, and is circled here. And when they looked at these radial profiles, these spectral lines represent an unresolved point source rather than emission from an extended source. So they're saying that this dot here at the center is the remnant of the star after it died from the supernova, which is great. And it also shows how incredible the James Webb Space Telescope is. It's able to see this incredible object at the center in detail. So this is what it's showing here. So velocity slices. So what drives the central argon and sulfur emission? Dreamless Sleep says, got here from Phi. What are we talking about? Hello, we are reading a brief article on supernovae, and we also finished an article on Voorwerp galaxies. So this will probably be the last article, and then I'm going to be doing a few announcements about my sabbatical, since this will be my last stream for about a month. But yeah, no, for now we're just reading this really cool article. It's very short. We only have 2 paragraphs left. Argon and sulfur are produced by the burning of oxygen and silicon at the core of the star. Thus, this emission originates from the inner core of the ejecta. These lines must be excited by a shockwave or an ionizing source. Simulations that model how gases ionize show that the ionizing light source could be synchrotron radiation from a pulsar wind nebula or a cooling neutron star. So basically fancy radiation from a neutron star. So this is actually like direct evidence that there is a neutron star at the center. So if the inner stuff is from the supernova, what caused the first rings? Well, the authors say that it was ejected about 20,000 years ago. So I wonder if it was some, I assume it's some sort of material ejection. When the stars approach the end of their lives, and 20,000 years is pretty short on a star timescale, they start to, you know, sort of go into what I think is like panic mode. They need to fuse heavier and heavier elements in order to generate the same amount of energy, to hold back from gravity collapsing upon itself. And I wouldn't be surprised if this outer ring was like some sort of like mini explosion or an ejection of material because the star was getting so active near the end of its life. Let me actually quickly check. Maybe there's a actual explanation. I don't want to, you know, give out misinformation. Let me see. Yeah, were formed by the interaction of the supernova's shockwave with pre-existing. Yeah, it was ejected by the progenitor star before the explosion. Oh, I guess the material was already ejected? Yeah, it was because of the incredible activity before. So yes, so this material was ejected because of the incredible activity before the star died. But the reason why it's so bright is because it's actually interacting with the energy that was ejected out of the supernova, which is why it's visible, and why it has this really cool hourglass shape. But yeah, so I guess we got to here, which is where we saw that the light source could be literally from the neutron star, which is incredible. But there are some uncertainties in the modeling, including the ionizing spectrum, density, elemental abundances, and dust properties, which make it hard to conclusively point to the exact source. Nonetheless, it is clear that the mechanism requires the presence of a neutron star. So this is great because, you know, in the past when we looked at previous nerd alert, hello Nep, hello, so great to see you. Yeah, no, I am definitely nerding out about supernova and stars. Oh yes, and before I keep going, another VTheorem member in the chat, which means you guys should go follow Nep, who streams primarily on Twitch. But if I recall correctly, Nep, correct me if I'm wrong, you are currently on a bit of a break. I'm not sure when you'll be back, but you're taking some time off of streaming, but go follow her on Twitch. She does botany horticulture content, which is great, plant stuff. Very epic. And we collabed a while back too. It was really, really, really fun. I had a lot of questions about plants then. Hiatus at the moment, yep. Funny enough, because I'm about to enter hiatus too. The authors explore other mechanisms unrelated to a neutron star, but these are excluded because of which lines are present. So basically, did a deep dive into the neutron star's spectra, which is really important because spectra can give us a lot of information about how hot the gas is around the neutron star, how fast it's moving, what it's made of, and they say that all of these indicate to the presence of a neutron star at its center. So translating the spectral measurements to the velocity that the neutron star was kicked at, it's dependent on whether one assumes these different models, so we don't know how fast a neutron star is rotating. So that's really interesting. So that's one possible future direction. So Supernova 1987A left a remnant compact object behind in the wake of its explosion and has been elusive. I love that word, elusive. It sounds like it's in cursive. For 38 years. New observations presented by today's authors show a central source buried in the ejecta of Supernova 1987A, strong in argon and sulfur emission lines. And this is consistent with the presence of a neutron star, which is really exciting. It shows that the James Webb Space Telescope is so powerful, and it can tell us a lot about what's at the center of a supernova and analyze things to a new extent. So, yeah. Well, Astral, you should better stop that words per minute timer. But yeah, so that was this article. I love the title. It's a reference to like Sabrina Carpenter. It's like, please, please, please be a neutron star. So thank you, Danielle Dickinson at Purdue University for writing this incredible article. This was a lot of fun. Yay! All right, so we went through 2 articles. Well, if you have any questions, feel free to put them into the chat. I'm gonna take a little bit of a hydration break real quick. 31.3 words per minute. Let's freaking go. Let's freaking go. I'm a pro. What can I say? I wonder how that ranks up to V theorem. Big telescopes are great. Please give us 10 to 100 more of them. Well, okay, I was about to, you know, like talk about some things that I probably... okay, never mind. But I would also like more telescopes. I was going to mention something about the Roman Space Telescope, but basically, it is a telescope that is built. It just needs to launch, and given the current NASA budget, it may not launch, which is really devastating because it's literally done. You just need to like put it up in a rocket. And it's like, it literally could be a new window into our universe, and it would be up there with the James Webb Space Telescope as one of our most powerful telescopes yet. So yeah, no, I don't know if you guys remember over the summer, but there was a moon rover called Viper that was this was when I was visiting the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, but it was completed. It just needed to be sent up on a rocket, if I recall correctly, or it had like one more round of testing, but it was very close to being done. And then there was a budget cut, and the Viper rover was no longer able to launch, which was devastating because there were people on that team who've worked on it for years. And what was even more shocking was that because the launch was already secured, but they couldn't send up the rover itself, if I recall correctly, they were planning to launch a brick of equal mass in the rocket because the launch still had to go. Like... Okay, I don't want to go too in-depth into this topic because I don't like to really talk about politics or anything like that on stream, and I think there's a lot of really great ways to get information about this if you want to learn more. For context, Astrobites has made this... Well, let me see if I can try to find it real quick. They made a really, really, really great article sort of explaining like, here, let me pull this up real quick. 3 to infinite times faster than psi, 2 to 3 times and just behind phi. Phi is so fast! How is that possible? Here, let me There was a really great article on this that Astrobites posted. Yep. Well, I won't talk about this article because, again, I don't really like talking about politics. Well, they did not launch a brick, I think. They ended up being okay with it, but if you are curious to learn more, I think this it's a little outdated now. It's been about a month since it came out, but it sort of details, you know, what the current situation is, why a NASA budget cut is so devastating, and one of the possible projects that are being, you know, canceled. So if you want to learn more, definitely click that link. So the good news about Viper is, if I recall correctly, a startup, I think it was Rocket Lab Viper, or what was it, Rocket Lab? I think somebody else picked it up. Oh shoot! Oh no, they canceled it again? Okay, so I guess I'm behind on this news, but I do remember a few months ago they said that they found a new partner to launch. They were looking for private companies to launch Viper, and I thought it was like Rocket Lab or somebody who had decided to pick it up. But oh, this is so devastating. This article here, Space News, on May 8th said that NASA is backtracking on Viper commercial partnership. Oh my god. I did not know about that, actually. This is like my first reaction. Yeah, dang, yeah. Well, definitely keep an eye on it. If you want to learn more, the rover is called Viper. NASA's Viper Volatile is investigating polar exploration rover. It's basically to collect ice on the lunar surface and a lot of really important science data. Dang, yeah, no, I thought somebody picked it up. I did hear about this from someone, but yeah. Well, I mean, it would be absolutely useless for them to just like throw it into the trash, but, well, not but yeah. Hopefully there's good news for this team. Really unfortunate what's going on there. They really can't catch a break. Yeah, what will happen to it? So hopefully they keep the telescope in storage until they launch it. What will happen to it if it isn't launched? Can we hold on to it until it can be sent up a few years later? I mean, I think you can still hold on to it, but the issue is that you have to keep testing it, and some of these tests take a very long time. They can take years up to a time. For instance, there was one test that I heard where you have to like literally, this was during my collab with Carbon, where you have to like put it into like a vacuum thing for like a prolonged period of time and like cool it to like space temperatures, which takes a really long period of time, especially if you're dealing with an incredibly large telescope. Yeah, so yeah, it's really unfortunate, but I don't want to delve a little too much into this. Again, if you want to read more, check out the article that I sent in the chat. They do a really great job of, you know, really giving you the numbers, and yeah, I'm hoping they have like a updated one after, you know, some of the more recent announcements, but yeah. Alright, let me just quickly alright. Yeah, so I just want to do some last minute announcements and answer a few questions and brainstorm some ideas for the Zabbatical. So, first off, if you guys haven't noticed, in terms of more positive news, Vtuber presented at an academic conference. It was for the Society for the Improvement of Psychological Science. It is a psychology conference. It was amazing. If you can see here, that is literally Syzygy in her Adventure Time model, literally presenting at a real conference. Isn't that crazy, Orbeez? It's like wild to me. I think I did, like, record a slide, just describing, was a talk recorded? Ugh, I'll have to ask, Syzygy, but I don't know. I don't know if it was, because I don't think it was a public talk. But I'm sure there's a way to have the slides be sent out. Actually, let me ask Syzygy, let me ask Sy if I can get the slides somehow distributed, because the topics range from a lot of things, from like scientific communication, how to combat misinformation, and I also recorded a slide about, you know, doing live demos, about, you know, how soldering works, and I know Nep has also done some, like, plant ID, so just chatting about that as well. But it was really cool. Yeah, congrats to V Theorem, but a huge shout out to Syzygy. I've been trying to brainstorm a nickname for Myelin. Orbeez, we gotta brainstorm one. Well, huge shout out to Syzygy, the psychologists of V Theorem, who really made this happen. I didn't even know this was a thing, and then I just remember seeing it on the V Theorem Discord, the one just between us, and they were like, oh yeah, we can present at this conference, and I was like, what? That's crazy. But who knows, maybe I will also present at a physics conference one day in VTuber form. Though, I don't know, I think that'd be really funny. This is a big win though, yep. And I also wanted to highlight this beautiful piece of art. Thank you so much to Mino for taking the time to hand draw this. I think it took like about a month or even longer. Like, it was an incredible, like, I remember when Mino first sent it to me, I was like, jaw hit the floor. This is like colored pencil, by the way. It's incredible. And if you wait till the end on my ending screen, it'll also be featured. I actually have a new ending screen, by the way, with this artwork and a few others. So, yeah, just wanted to highlight how gorgeous that looked. Alright, so now on a more serious note, I posted on X, Twitter, that yes, I will be on Zabbatical. Puts the Zerit to shame. Wait, I love the Zerit! Wait, the Zerit is amazing. I think I put the Zerit in my ending screen, or at least on this presentation as well. Alright, so to talk about the Zabbatical, this was actually a pretty tough decision for me, because I was planning to keep streaming, albeit maybe like once or twice a week, for the next coming weeks, and then taking a short break in June as I was traveling. But then I realized that, you know, I wanted to take some time to refocus, relax, and, you know, come back stronger with some epic content ideas. And in the meantime, I am traveling, I am doing a lot of different types of work. It's been a very crazy year indeed. And yeah, so that's basically the gist. And if you want to read it, actually, maybe I'll just quickly put the tweet into the... Let me just quickly put that there if you want to, you know, give a closer read. But I'll basically describe everything. So the next commonly asked question is, like, when will I be on sabbatical? So today's the 25th, and I'm hoping to return sometime this week, probably on the 25th again. So I'll be just taking, like, a month off. I will also be traveling, so this is basically just taking my already planned hiatus and making it a week longer. So you might be asking, what will Z's sabbatical be like? Well, I'm not, like, you know, disappearing into a black hole. I'm planning to still drop and edit some new shorts. I'll still be active on X and Discord, and if you haven't already, definitely please check that out. I will be working on some mysterious new projects, which will include me editing a lot of videos, and I'll be meeting some epic people, and you Orbeez have no freaking idea, like, how epic some of these people will be. And I will try to mention as many of them as I can, without, you know, like, doxing myself. But yeah, and along those lines, yes, I will be traveling, and I will also be resting. But I am not disappearing. So, what will Z do when she returns? So, I've already brainstormed a few ideas. I want to do a late night drive Q&A number 2, because the last time I did that, it was just so much fun, and I realized I haven't done a Q&A in a while, and by the time I get back, I will also have so many updates that you guys will also have a lot of questions about. Another study with Z, I love this emoji by the way. I did get a new keyboard, like a nice like thocky one. So that might be really fun too. More Kerbal Space Program. I felt really bad that the previous stream ended up pretty short because of my my situation, but yeah, I'm hoping to do more of that. Yeah, the late night drive stream was fantastic. I genuinely think it was, I mean, I don't mean to like rank streams, but I think that was actually the most fun stream I've ever had on this channel. It was just so chaotic. I just remember like the Orbus like flipping around, and then there's like this weird like lo-fi music in the background. I just want to do a physics meme review, which has been something I've been putting off for a long time, and maybe over the hiatus, I'll ask you guys to upload some memes into Google Forms. And a few more ideas here, movie watch along, maybe some Minecraft, more collabs, or recording some Star Talk. I feel like I know some really epic people in real life, and I wanted to, you know, feature some of their stories as well. And there's one thing I wanted to add. A very super special surprise. Oh wait, I'll also add physics and anime. That will be another thing. So I wanted to hint at something. There's a very super special surprise that will be awaiting us on the return. And it's one that we've been waiting for quite some time now. And turns out it'll take about a month or so to set up, so it should be ready when I return. And I am so excited to share that with you guys. It's gonna be a lot of fun. You guys, yeah, it's a super secret. It's like, you guys are gonna be so surprised. Yeah, no, it's very good. It's very mysterious. Yeah, no, it's gonna be great. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to give a spoiler, you know, but yeah, let me quickly unpin this real quick. So you might be asking, how can you support me while I'm gone? So these are slides that I had last time. If you haven't already, go join the Discord. It's up there in the chat. Yeah, and I also had this last time. I'll still be active on YouTube, X, and if you want to donate, thank you so much. Your support really keeps this channel and me and my coffee addiction going. And Discord, I will definitely still be active on that. I just want to leave this one open though. So yeah, those are all the announcements I have. But yeah, I am super thrilled. And if you have any more ideas, please suggest them in the chat. Now is the time. Let me just quickly check on time. You know, things are good. So yeah. If I have to be honest, I'm really going to miss you guys over this next month. But a month goes by pretty fast, and oh, thank you, Silver Soul, for subscribing to the Orbeez. Thank you so much for joining. So yeah, I'm really excited for the break as well. There's going to be a lot of really cool content, and a lot of cool content that is already in the works that I will finally have a chance to finish up. Oh, another thing I'd like to mention though, too, is that during the school year, things get really crazy. I think I've been averaging like 1 stream a week, even though I've wanted to stream more. But when I return, over the summer, I will have a lot more bandwidth to stream. Maybe I'll do maybe like 2 streams per week, maybe even 3, and maybe even recording some epic new videos. And if you guys remember, I actually debuted in July. So we'll also have our 1-year anniversary, and there will be a lot more surprises for that too. I'll also have more time to edit videos, because I kid you not, I have so many videos to edit in my stream queue. There's been a video I've been working on for like 3 months, and I haven't even been able to like finish it up. And so I have a lot of projects I want to work on, a lot of things I want to show you. Rest is important. Take care. Thank you guys so much. We'll miss you too, but we'll all be on the Discord. Yeah, no, I'll still be very active on the Discord. Have fun in the break. I get a break from work up until mid-June. Yeah. So it'll be a great time to take a break. Oh, there might also be another announcement that actually just came to mind that I actually just remembered. I received some really great news that I might be able to bring and or potentially borrow a violin over this summer. I don't know about bringing it yet because so I have my violin at my like childhood home, but I felt really bad about it sort of like sitting there just gathering dust when it's a really good violin. But one of the things I'm really worried about is that when I bring it, it won't like acclimate to the new weather. And so I've been trying to talk to some people, get some advice, and it may be possible for me to bring it, but if that's not possible, I actually recently got into contact with somebody I know who might be able to get a violin that is not as good as my current violin, of course, but equally good violin, here. Which is great, because I have been very out of practice. I've played violin for like, 13 years? But I haven't played for like a few years other than, in between the breaks. And the violin covers that you hear, like, on my channel are like when I'm like, like speed practicing, like trying to get a cover out. But I think if I were to bring it over this summer, like, I'd have a lot more time to, practice, pace myself, try new styles, try new techniques. Yeah, Pembu's like, violin? Violin? Yeah, no, I'm very thrilled. So I know you guys have wanted, like, a violin live. That may be more of a reality than you might imagine soon. Violin time? Yeah, no, it might be. Relax your eyes. Yeah, no, I definitely will need to. I actually noticed that, I don't know about you guys, but my vision has been going, like, much worse. Every time I visit the optometrist or whatever, my eyes, like, go down, like, half a prescription. I think it might be because I'm, like, on my devices, like my laptop so much. A good violin that you have is better than a better violin you don't have, so this is great. Yeah, no, exactly, and, honestly, a part of the reason why I wasn't able to, have my violin over, this past year is, like, it's been really, really, really crazy, but I think I'll have a lot more bandwidth. If those are Rush Z, how much must well-practiced Z be? Well, I think, like, at my peak, I was, when I was, doing violin regularly, like, I was quite good. Of course, like, I wasn't like, like a professional violinist or anything, but I think now I want to get back into it. I want to practice. I want to, try different styles, different techniques. There are also, like, fellow violinists that I've met throughout the years that I want to connect with more. So, yeah. So that might be a little fun little surprise. I hope your eyes get better. Yeah, no, I think it's inevitable, honestly. Just considering, like, how much screen time I have every day. Well, I'm probably gonna be chatting for maybe, like, 5-ish more minutes and then wrap things up. How long is your hiatus? Oh, okay, let me go back to the slide real quick. It's gonna be a month, almost exactly. But for context, like, I was already planning to travel in June, so this is just me, like, putting a stream hiatus a little bit earlier, relaxing, refocusing, just pushing things a little bit earlier. And yeah. Human, I was here for the last 5 minutes, lol. Well, it's okay. Well, the VOD will be up soon. I'll include timestamps. Oh yes, some other ideas I've had in mind. I know you guys really, really loved my collab with Kim. I would love to do more collabs with science VTubers. I know I've gotten a few suggestions of VTubers, some of which are not very scientific, if I have to be completely honest. Oh my god. Well, but I know there are several, like, actual real scientist VTubers that I want to, meet and nerd out about. And I've collabed with a bunch of science VTubers before. Doesn't mean that it'll be the last time I collab with them. I want to keep working with them. I was thinking about doing like a star talk where I just chat with people, because I think it's just so cool to hear things that people are like nerdy about. There's just some like energy in a room whenever somebody nerds about something that is like, it just, like the light in their eyes, the sparkle in their eyes, it's just such a fun experience. Even if they're a VTuber, you know, you can tell by like the way they get excited about things, you know? And I'm sure you probably have encountered that in real life too, like talking to somebody about something they're passionate about. Yeah. Nothing like someone yapping about their passion. Yep. Oh, one of the other things that I've been, you know, trying to do more recently is, you guys might know already that I'm like sort of collecting CDs. My CD collection has truly expanded. I actually 3D printed a CD rack the other day, actually. I was thinking about this because I'm like looking like over my like computer right now, and there's like my whole like CD collection just like leaning against the wall. So that's one thing I've been passionate about too. I just want to get more CDs, try new types of music. Yeah, so that's one of the things I'm looking forward to. Oh, one of the things I definitely want to do is, I know it's been a while since I last collabed with Faye, but she's a real-life doctor now, Dr. Faye. Wait, same with Sai. Sai Dare is also a real-life PhD now, Dr. Dare, Dr. Sai. And I actually have collabed with everyone in V-Theorem except for Sai. And I think it would be so cool to do a collab on, like, physics in space. Like, what is it like to be an astronaut in space? Or, you know, like, there are some people who are in, like, solitary confinement for long periods of time. That's one of the things that they do. Like, they send these, like, aspiring astronauts to, like, Hawaii or something, and they put them in there with a group of people, and they see, like, you know, what are the psychological detriments or, you know, the conflicts that they may face. And so I was thinking that would be a really, really, really cool stream to do too. So yeah, I definitely want to collab with a lot more scientist VTubers. And that being said, now that there are so many of us, if you know a scientist VTuber that you want me to collab with, just go into the Discord and just put it into like vid feedback or vid ideas. And honestly, I've just been blind emailing people, just trying to get to meet new VTubers, new people who are passionate about their things in space, in their STEM space. So yeah, psychology in space would be fascinating. I know, right? I think it would be so cool, and like, I think it would be a perfect occasion too, because Syzygy, I mean, is incredible. You guys already know that. But I definitely want to, like, you know, hear on her takes about psychology in space. I read physics VTuber as psychic VTuber. No! I don't do psychic stuff! I'm not an astrologer, I promise! I'm not an astrologer. Well, hello, Sign. Actually, you're coming at a really sad time because I'm actually about to wrap things up soon. So, just to wrap things up, if you haven't already, go check out my announcement. I actually realized that I forgot to post on YouTube, so I'll do that right after this. Imagine beating the allegations. No, Orbeez, I promise you, A is dead. A is dead. I'm not A the astrologer. What will A the astrologer be doing during the vacation? A the astrologer will actually be working so hard. A the astrologer will be pulling a month of an all-nighter working on her astrological theories. Because A the astrologer is like opposite of me, right? Yeah, no. Let me just leave it on the screen too. So, yeah, no. You guys really love A the astrologer. I was talking to Mylan about this. I was like, I don't know why people are so fascinated about A the astrologer. Is it just because it's just like the polar opposite of me? Is this what the VTubing community really wants? Like, should I just be like, you know, like, what's it called? Like a kudere or whatever? A will lead the channel during the sabbatical. No, imagine like I'm gone during sabbatical and you guys hear about a new VTuber debuting and it's A. No. I promise. I will definitely take much needed rest. I should research A some more. Wait. Let me... Oh my god. I hate bringing this up. This really just makes me cringe. This makes me cringe so hard. But on April Fool's, I did an the Astrologer debut. But I wasn't, like, able to keep up the act for so long. Because I thought it would be, like, almost like... Oh god, I don't want to look at myself in this form. Here, let me see. Let me make sure I'm not doxing myself. Yeah, no, I like... So this model was designed by, like, Mylan, who is my genmate in B Theorem. And, like, the art, like, she also drew, they also drew this incredible art. It was great. No, and the thing is, I could only last, like, 27... Wait, but counting the intro, too, so I only lasted, like, 20 minutes. I thought I would go for, like, an hour, and then I realized that I couldn't do it anymore. And so then I Zexorcised myself back to normal Z. But I just remember, like, I actually did, like, this was actually really informative. I actually did a formal presentation on, like, the difference between astronomy and astrology and, like, what it is. I also shared some... I actually forgot. I actually shared some photos from when I was in New York, too. That was great. Yeah, I remember this was for April Fool's, and then shortly after, 2000 Orbeez. Yeah, no, it was great. And, oh, I remember I was sick. Wow, this was really a blast of the past. Yeah, but if you haven't already, go check that out. I also did, like, tarot card readings where I, like... Oh, yeah, where I read the different things. Yeah. That stream made history. When will the others make their debut? Oh, EMB, the electric and magnetic fields. I think my favorite right now is, like, the ISS looking one. Wait, hold on, let me see if I can try to find it. I have all these in, like, one folder. When is Z the Zeret debuting? Oh, the Hypercube is also quite good, too. Oh, no, R the research satellite. Yeah, no, I really love this one. Wait, let me remove this real quick. Oh. Yeah, no, this is great. R the research satellite or Z the Zeret. I think it would be so funny to debut as Z the Zeret. But yeah. Oh, shoot. Looks like I'm frozen. Oh, that might actually be an indicator that we need to wrap things up. But speaking of the Zeit, oh my god, I really want to spoil things. Oh, I need to stop myself. I need to stop myself, Orbeez. I need to stop myself. Okay, I'll say one more. I'll say one last thing. Orbeez, do you promise to keep this a secret? Well, I had a real life Zeit of 87 recently. That's all I'm going to say. Alright, well, are the research satellites already streaming? Yeah, no, are the research satellites here? Hi, I'm R the research satellite. Well, anywho, thank you all so much. Oop. I wanted to show my little... that's not even it. Yep. Boop. The Zeit of 87? Yeah. Wait, it was 87, right? Yeah, I think that's the right year. So, if you haven't already, join the Galaxy Discord. Let me put it one more time, especially for those of you who are new. I will be active on there. And finally, make sure to check out some of these links. Let me also paste that in here. So you guys can stay connected. But yeah, I think that's basically it. Thank you guys so much. It's only gonna be a month though. I feel like I'm speaking as if I'm gonna be gone for like a year. It's only a month. It's only a month. And you know, you Orbeez will also be traveling, doing so many amazing things, drinking so many Zoffies and, you know, all these other little things. And I will still keep you guys as updated as I can. So go join the Discord. I hope you guys really enjoyed the stream. I hope you learned a lot about supernovae and Voorwerp galaxies. And when we're coming back, we're gonna have a lot of epic ideas, and I have so many surprises for you guys. And I think I'll try to drop some little spoilers here and there. So I'll still be active everywhere. We survived a month before, we'll survive another month. Yeah, exactly. And when we come back, there's gonna be so many exciting things for you guys. So thank you guys so much for your support. Even when I'm not streaming as much, even when things are really busy and hectic and crazy, even when I get into a running accident and I am injured and unable to like move, thank you guys so much for all of the support you guys have given me. And this break will go really, really fast. Did the census ever get released? Oh shoot! Yes, we will do that. Oh wait, hold on. Let me jot this down. I was actually talking about this with. Okay, wait, sorry. I'll be leaving for real now. But I was talking with Mylan and Sai about this too. It would be really cool to do like a data analysis of it, and this has been an idea we've been chatting about for a while. And it might actually be V-Theorem's anniversary recently passed, so that might also be like an exciting little thing. But yeah, have a nice rest. Thank you. Have a good vacation. Thank you. Yeah, no, the sequel will be up soon. VOD will be up soon, so thank you guys so much. And stay educated, because when we're back, there's gonna be a surprise quiz for you guys to test your knowledge. And if you haven't been keeping up to Z's standards, you're gonna be expelled. Alright, well thank you guys so much, and for the last time this month, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye! And check out the new ending screen, it's super epic! Bye bye!